Hi everyone, good evening. Am I audible? I think I am audible, right? Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Let me share my screen. Okay. So let me quickly, like people who joined newly, right? Please wait till the class is over. And once the class is over, then if you have any doubt, uh, you can ask and we can discuss, right? But please wait till the class is over, right? So today we are going to discuss a very important topic based on the review, right? Based on your feedback last class that I have taken. So most of you are not aware of Git and GitHub, which is a very important tool. I think it's one of the prerequisites before you join the course. I would have taken this class very long time when before starting Python, actually, before we start with core Python. I think this is one of the important topic because Git and GitHub is like everything, right? It is version control. And if you are not good at it, you cannot really MLOps is incomplete. So any one tool you should know with respect to version control. There are a lot of options in market, like Git is there, Git and GitHub, right? You have something called Git Lab. You can use that. Bitbucket, right? But Bitbucket is not free. Git and GitHub are open source and it is free. So we are going to, what is the takeaway for today's class? The takeaway for today's class is first initial 30 minutes to 40 minutes. I'll show you a path, right? I will give you a complete tutorial on Git and GitHub, whatever is required. And I will tell you what next you can, if you want to learn more on it, like from where you can learn. But whatever is needed to work on a project, right? Whatever is needed to start pushing your code, and very important point is when you will build your portfolio, you will be sharing your GitHub link. And if you don't have a GitHub account, I think after today's class, one of the prerequisite everyone in the class should have is a GitHub account. Like how you are installing Python, you should have a GitHub account and not an empty repository. And don't do that mistake. When I was a fresher, I shared my GitHub account, but I did not have any contribution. And that has been asked to me, right, in the interview, right, why you have given your GitHub account when you don't have anything to show. So please don't do that mistake when what I had done. So if you have, if you are sharing your GitHub account, make sure you have contribution. So hence onwards, what we're trying to do is all the projects, whatever we are doing here, not exactly same project, but relative projects. Like I'll tell you from where you will get data sets. There are a lot of data sets available online platform. You can download those data sets and very similar project, what we are doing in the class, one or two more projects. In fact, the projects that we are doing in the class also, all the things, three or four or five projects end to end, right? In a particular structure, how we are writing code for deployment, exactly same structure. I want everyone to share those projects through GitHub and add that link in your CV. So at the end of this class, maybe after 2.5 months, when you will share your resume, I want everyone's GitHub account, and it should not be empty. When somebody will click on that GitHub account, at least they can see 4 to 5 MLOps project end to end, right? And don't worry about data sets. If you can work on public data sets, the interviewer, whoever is taking your interview, will have that confidence that, like, if you get the company data, you can very well work on the company data also, because the deployment process is exactly same. In fact, the modeling process, the data can be messy, but entire coding, the flow of the code is exactly same, right? Same way you will deploy. If you are able to do it here, you will be able to do it there. So you no need to tell much before even you are selected, right? Your one-to-one round, the interviewer, and they take it very seriously. It is my own personal experience. When you share your GitHub link, good companies, the interviewer, they are very particular. So they will be, I'll be sharing some of the interview guidelines. So I have a very good interview with Twilio. Twilio. It's a very good brand. I think you can go and check. I can share like it has 7-8 rounds. So when I'm saying, when you're applying for good companies like this, like Twilio, Flipkart, and then you have GS, Goldman Sachs, and Amazon, and different next level, right? Product-based good companies, they will have a very rigorous interview process, and they will have 7-8-9 rounds, at least 6 to 7 rounds. And they check everything, not only your CV, right? Because they get a lot of application, 1,000, 2,000 application for the same role. So how they will shortlist? They will search for these points: GitHub, portfolio, right? Do you have any digital resume? Do you have anything like a dashboard kind of thing you have contributed somewhere? Let's say you have your own dashboard which you have hosted in Heroku, or let's say you have hosted in some public platforms, which I will tell you in the class how you can host all of this app publicly, freely. And that URL, if you have shared, and the code is available in GitHub. So these are the points which will make the difference. And it really works. And it is me who is saying, based on not any story I'm talking, it is me who is saying personal branding really helps. And I mean, this is how you will stand out. If you have GitHub account where the code exists, if you have URLs where the interviewer can click and see the app running, up and running on public servers, and I think that is where 80-90% shortlisting happens. Like out of 100, only 5 or 6 people will have this kind of things. And that is how you will make a difference. And it is perfectly fine. You can tell, I am a software engineer. I have maybe I learned data science myself, and these are my work. You can see I have deployed 5-7 projects, and that is sufficient, right? I think this is what I want everyone to do at the end of the class. So that is why I'm talking so much, because Git and GitHub are the very important tools. And without GitHub, you cannot share your code with the interviewer. It is the platform where the entire world will see what you are doing. Don't hide yourself within your laptop or local system, right? Submit everything, whatever you are doing, to GitHub. Really, it will have a large impact, right? So that is what we're going to do. And in this course, we're also going to learn about Dash. So complete dashboard you will create. Let me see if I can share some Power BI recording from my YouTube channel. So you can also learn Power BI and Dash together. So what I want ultimately, you need a front end. So you will have a back end, definitely. Like we will be building MLOps, complete back end. ML model, you will build your machine learning model. You will deploy it on AWS. And then there will be a front end part, which will be built based on Streamlit or Dash or maybe Power BI, any front end. And that front end, the user can upload data or something like that, and then they can see the result. And that URL, wherever you are hosting that, it should be a public server, because you cannot host it on AWS, right? It will be costlier. So you can host it on a public server. A demo application is fine. What they are looking is the complete flow. Are you able to do it? So that is what is my intention. So what we're going to learn today is Git and GitHub from scratch. And after the class, maybe once the class is over, if you have any doubt, you can ask me, right? So I think many of you are from software engineering background. I think few of you are already using Git and GitHub. I just want one from you. If you can explain what exactly Git is. You understood that Git is a version control, but my question is why we need Git? Like, I mean, what is the purpose of using a version control? Can't we write? I mean, I will write my code in my Jupyter notebook. You can write your code in VS Code, and then we can share it in box folder or somewhere, right? In SharePoint or somewhere. But what is the need of Git? Why the entire industry is running after this version control? Why it is so important? Can any of the software engineers who are already working with Git can explain? Any one of you can unmute and speak. Can you please explain, any one of you? Before I start, I want to hear from you. Any one of you, why you need Git? What is the purpose?
Centralized code management, right, madam?
Yeah.
It
Okay.
uses
So can
a
you?
DAG and a
Yes.
Miracle tree.
Yes. So one point is very nice, like code management. Okay, what do you mean by that? Can you elaborate? Let's say you, Arun, you, me, we are working in a team, okay? And Saurav is our manager, right? And you are building one feature, I'm building. Let's say you are building front end, I am building the ML part, right? I'm building the machine learning model, you are building the front end, and we both are working in the same project. It's a product. Now, why we need Git? You can write your code, I can write my code. and we can share the code maybe through Box or maybe through any other storage. Why we need?
We need the merging process, the rebasing process, basically everything which we did, which we combine and work, right? That has to be stored in a particular data structure where then only we want to recover, merge, revert, all those things operation we have to do. Na? So we can avoid a lot of manual process and we can use the GitHub internal data structure of DAG and Miracle tree to bring it back, right?
Okay.
And same time, it will allow multiple developers to work together.
Yes. Collaboratively, we can work, yes. And any other advantage? Okay. I'll tell you one use case, okay? So let's say what happened. Let's say what happened. Let's say this is user one. User one means employee one. This is employee one. Maybe let's say it's me, right? I'm working in a ML part. I'm building the machine learning code, building the model basically. And this is employee two. And this particular employee is working in the front end part, so they are building the front end application using anything, Flask or Dash or Power BI or something. There is one more employee, let's say this is employee 3, who is a data engineer. He's a data scientist, he's a web developer, and employee 3 is a data engineer, and they are working in the data pipeline. So they're making sure the ML engineer, they get the proper data. So they're working in the data pipeline, okay? They're working in the data pipeline. And like after that, let's say version 1 they released. Okay, so they collaboratively worked and version 1 they released on, let's say 19th of February, 19th of March. On 19th of March they released. And then what happened? This front-end developer, he got a very good offer and he left the organization. After 1 year, what happened? This version 1 did not work. Okay. By the time the version 2 will be developed, right? By the time the version 2 will be developed, let's say so, and what happened, this ML engineer, so that there can be a lot of cases, right? One thing is like already you have told, the first application or the first the first advantage is, if you have ever heard about any open source project, right? Let's say Apache Spark, it's an open source project. Pandas, it is an open source project. You have never contributed, but if you try to contribute, it's not like anybody can contribute, or you are solving any open issue which is there in the open source project, right? Thousands, millions, billions of users will be trying. So Apache Spark, it's a centralized, it's a open source course, right? Like I am working, you are working, 100 of people are simultaneously working, thousands, millions of people are trying to contribute to Apache Spark. So can you just imagine what will happen to the code in real time? Think about it. User 1 tried to do some changes to Apache Spark version 1. User 2, user 3, user 4, user 5, let's say millions of users, let's say 1,000, 20,000, 30,000 users at a time, they want to change this Apache Spark 2.2, right? And then Apache, what will happen if the same thing what user 1 is doing, user 2 is also doing? What will happen? Whatever user 1 has done, user 3 will delete. So is there any way to control this? Can at a time 1,000, 50,000 to, and all are working in different geographical location. Let's say you are working in the daytime, somebody is working in the night time. Maybe you both are working at the same time. You are trying to do some changes to the version 2.2, and somebody else at the same time, they want to do some changes to the version 2.2. Whereas user 2, they want to delete something. So are you understanding the chaos in the real time when it is a large project? I'm just giving you at very high level. When it is a very large project, if it is open source and 1,000 of people are simultaneously working, this is like somewhere, it is not possible. It is not possible. You cannot simply share your code using Box or something, right? Now come down to your project. Let's say your organization. Your organization, who will maintain the version history? What happened to version 1? Let's say front-end developer, at one fine day, the code will not arrive. Code will arrive eventually. Today you have done some changes. Tomorrow you have done some more changes. Let's say this is the button, okay? And then this is the change that you have done today. Let's say 19th, okay? And then on 20th, your manager told, okay, this button color, you make it yellow. So you made this change on 20th. Manager's manager, when you joined on 21st, the call, he said, okay, why you made it yellow? You made it black only. Go back. Now tell me, can you go back? If you don't have, let's say you are running your code in Jupyter Notebook, okay? So you have saved it. The yellow version, you have saved it. Now tell me, can you go back to the black color button? No. Are you getting? But here you can go because it's a snapshot. Whatever changes this user 2 has done on the front end side, everything will be saved. So on 21th, if your manager is telling manager, okay, you go back to 19th, you can go back. Let's say after 5 days or 5 months, the recent version 2 is not working. So your VP is telling, okay, this version 2 is not good. Whatever test, whatever code changes you have done, I don't like it. Go to version 1. Go to version 1. And can you understand version 1 is not only front end part. Version 1 is data pipeline, ML, front end, everything. So maybe 7, 8 employees together, they worked and created this version 1. And after 5 months, if I want to go back to version 1, my question to you is from version 2 to version 1, can you really do it? Not only you, there are 8, 9, 10 engineers who have created this version 1. And after 5 months, let's say whatever is the new version, it is not working or the VP did not like it and they want to go back to the version 1. Can you understand the complexity in real time? So all of these things like for fast and scalability, for tracking the history, this is one of the very important point. So Git is for tracking history. So what do you mean by that? Whoever is doing whatever, you take a snapshot, take a picture and store it. It's a kind of, let's say front-end developer today, whatever you want to change, you just take a snapshot. ML engineer, whatever they have done. So it is like this. So let's say there is a main branch and there is sub branches. Okay. Let's say there are how these 3 people will work. This is master. Master is the main branch. And this is branch 1. This is branch 2. This is branch 3. You copy the entire code to branch 1, copy the entire code to branch 2, copy the entire code to branch 3. Now branch 1, front-end developer is working. In branch 2, ML engineer is working. In branch 3, let's say data pipeline, data engineer is working. They will work, they will update, they will work, they will update. All the changes will be stored here, stored here, stored here. Now this is final. The code has been reviewed by the manager and the manager approved. Then this front end, ML and data engineer, all the code will be merging to master. And this is release of version 1. And then again, are you getting? So this is the challenges. Before we understand why we are learning, these are the situation. If you could not understand anything from all of this discussion, just understand one example. Let's say Apache Spark, or let's say Pandas, or let's say Python. Python is an open source project. Let's say you want to contribute. It's not like always you will use. Sometime you will contribute. You want to contribute to Python, and what you have done, you have gone to the GitHub repository of Python and you try to do something. Let's say you have built a package called ABC package, which will handle time series data, or you want to upload a shift function you want to add to a library. Some changes you have done. The same thing, let's say somebody else is also doing. Someone wants to remove something. Somebody wants to, are you getting, at a time, all over the world, when most like anyone is like want to do something to the same code base, how difficult it is to manage. And that is the reason we have Git and GitHub. Git, now let us come to the point. So what is Git? In one line, yes, Git is a version control tool. And why we need it? Git is a version control tool. We need Git because it helps us to track, this is a very important point, track changes in the code. In one line, if you have to explain, track changes in the code means what? Whoever has done whatever to the code, all the changes has been checked. So, I mean, it is very, 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 very good tool for tracking the history of your code. Whatever happened, it's like 10 people, it's scalable. Second thing is scalable. Scalable means what? I have given you 2 examples. One is a small project where 2 to 3 people are working. One is large project, Apache Spark, where millions of people are working. So it is scalable. Doesn't matter. 1 user, 10 user, 1,000 user, 1 million user. Any user, whatever changes they're doing to the code, every user's history will be tracked. Let me repeat. N number of user, doesn't matter. Scalable means what? What do you mean by scalable? Starting from 1 user to N number of, like a huge number of users, whatever they are doing to the code, all the changes are tracked. So it is a tool which will track changes in your code. Not only code, your entire folder basically. Code is a Yeah, code you can say, but entire folder. I mean, when you are creating a repository, it's a folder. So whatever you are doing, if you're deleting a file, that also will be tracked. If you're adding a file, that also will be tracked. Whatever changes you have done inside the code, let's say Sasmitha has created this readme.md file today. Let's say Ankit has added the documentation inside the readme.md file at 8:45 p.m. So all the changes will be tracked. And what is the benefit? Benefit is recovery. Anything you want to go back, you can see. And as a manager, I want to review the code. Easily, I can review the code, who has done what, and I can validate, and then I can approve. So this is open source. What is the benefit? It is open source, means completely free of cost. It is open source. It is scalable. It is fast. It is very fast. And it helps us to track changes and track history. And that is the advantage of Git, right? Git is a version control system. It's a tool which is nothing but version control system. Now you understand about Git. Now what is GitHub, right? So GitHub is a remote or cloud system. What is GitHub? GitHub is a remote or cloud system which will help you. So Git is local, right? Git whatever you have done. So GitHub is a website, or basically website means what? A server, a remote server, where you can actually push your code to GitHub. And we will learn more about Git and GitHub in detail. But you understood the logic, like why we need GitHub. So what question we have answered? Why we need Git? Why we need Git? Why we need Git, right? The answer is to track the changes. Who will track the changes? And why it is needed? Thousands of people are working in the same project. How I will know who has done what to my code, right? So tracking changes is super easy using Git and GitHub. It is a version control system. Now what we're going to do is, the first thing is you need to install few things, and it's very super simple. So Git is direct installation. You just, maybe you can go to Git. Let me open a new file, not to confuse you. Right, so open a new, right? So here you can track, here you can type GitHub. First, let us start with GitHub, right? Because it is easy. So I will start with GitHub. It's a UI, so you can easily understand what we are doing. So let us start with here. So you need to sign in. And let's say this is, and for the first time when you are logging in, you know, you will not have your account. So it is easy. So you can just sign up or create your account. You need to give your username, your password and everything. So once you have given, like any other website, same thing. And
we can see the screen is frozen.
okay.
We see only the text message you written.
Okay, sorry. So I think my this thing is shared, the whiteboard.
Yeah,
So let me reshare. So can you see this?
Yes, we can see it now. Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So I was just telling you how to log in. So just go to GitHub and you create your own account. Once you have created your own account, you give your username and password and you will be logged in. Okay. So this is how your GitHub, this is a, like, let's say your GitHub account. And let's say what you want to do is, first thing that you want to do is, so this is your GitHub account done. So how to create your GitHub account is done. Second thing is Git. Let us first understand the installation, then we will go detail. So what about Git? Git is any other software. So you just go to Google, type Git, and you can see downloads. You select your operating system based on your operating system, like Mac, Linux or Windows. You just download for your operating system. Next, and done. Mac also simple, like drag, drop and done. And you need to also install something called Git Bash. I think it will come in Windows automatically, right? So once you have installed, you need Git Bash, Git and Git Bash. Once you install Git, I think Git Bash also will come. So these are the two things. What we understood how to install, very simple. Git, go to the website, download it and done. It's an application that you need to install. Git is an application. If possible, also install Git desktop version. But I mean, that is a different thing. But first you need to install Git and then you go to GitHub and create your account. Let me repeat, installation. Git and GitHub, both you need. GitHub is a website, very simple. You go to the website, sign up and log in. Git, you just download, it's an application. Clear? Now what you need to do is, as I said, Git and GitHub are version control. So I will rather show you with some example than me talking. It's all hands-on. When you look at the application, how we will push the code, pull the code, then only you will understand. There's no theory in it. So once you have Git and GitHub, third thing that you need is VS Code. Why we need VS Code? You can write your Git commands through Git Bash, or if you're using Mac, through your terminal. But it is always better to push and pull your code from VS Code directly or editor directly. Because it's an MLOPS course, we are going to use either Jupyter Labs or a VS Code. Both has Git integration. So third thing that you need is VS Code. How to install that? You just go to Google and you type VS Code, very simple. Again, this is an application. You can download it and click next, 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 and done. Right? You can see whatever your operating system, based on your operating system, select and click next, 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 and done. Let me repeat 3 things you need. At the end of the class, I will repeat everything. So first thing is Git, second thing is GitHub, and third thing is VS Code. It's an editor where we will write the code, right? And it is a very nice editor. You can not only use Python, you can write any language code. It's a lightweight editor. So you can download VS Code, Git, and GitHub. Everything is done. Everything is set. Now, what you can do is, let us start from easy way, because I don't want to scare you by writing commands in the terminal. You will be scared. We will do that. But let us start from the easy way. What we are trying to do here is, we are trying to write some code, and I will try to push my code to GitHub. And I will again download from the code from GitHub to Git. So the number one thing that we are going to understand is the connection between Git and GitHub. So why we are doing it? Okay. Git is a remote. Git is local. Means what? Let's say I have downloaded this. This is local to my laptop. This is local to me. Whereas GitHub is remote, right? It is public. So whatever, for example, let's say this is something which I have. This is my code. I can simply copy this URL and share with all of you in the WhatsApp group, and everyone can just go and download the code. So it's a public, right? It is public. Now, the connection between Git and GitHub, that is what first we are trying to understand here. So first thing what you need to do is, you need to create a repository. So what is a repository, right? What is a repository? Repository is a folder. What is repository? Repository is nothing but a folder where all your code will stay. I'll give you some example. Let's say this, right? Let's say I'll come to documents and anything. Let's say this is a folder. Let's say these all files are there, code files. So this can be a repository. Repository means a folder. Okay. So step number 1 is, you come to your GitHub and you need to create a new repository. Okay. What you need to do, you need to create a new repository. Come to your home, right? So everyone, can you see this new in the left hand side top? You can see new. Click on this new. And what I'm trying to do here, creating a new repository. Why? I want to start a project where I will write my code inside it. I will upload my data. So it's a folder basically. Repository means folder in simple terms. You can give any name. Let's say this is demo Git. So this is demo Git, right? So what is this repository name? Demo Git. Okay. And description. So you can write Git demo, right? So whatever you want, you can write about the description, and then public, make it public. Private, I mean, when you are working in real time, you have to make it private, because you want to share this among your team only, not everyone. But here it is public. Add a README file. So what is this? This is basically a description about your project. What is the project is about? If you don't understand, you go to any GitHub repository. For example, let's say I just want to go to, let's say, Pandas GitHub. Okay, so this is the Pandas GitHub repository. Let's say this is the Pandas development GitHub repository. So if I just come to this repository, and if I just come to the README file, which is the first file, this is called README file, you can see. And what is this README file? README file is a markdown. Remember, in the Jupyter notebook tutorial, I have told you what is markdown. Markdown is a HTML kind of language. So README is not a text file. It is a markdown file, HTML. In simple word, you can write your HTML code. And what is this README? Any project README is about that project. For example, Pandas README, if you see, what is Pandas, right? Pandas is a powerful Python data analysis toolkit. And then you can mention all the meta package testing and what is it, what is the tutorial content. You educate your audience how to use the application, everything. So basic instructions. So basically it's a description about your project. So as of now, you just don't do anything, just keep it blank, but you add a README file. You just check it. It will be a blank file, but you add it later, you can edit it and do nothing. Just create repository. Let me repeat. Come here, what you need to do is give your name, repository name, and then add description and click on add README file and create repository. So whatever, after I click on this create repository, what happened? Empty folder is created where? In GitHub. GitHub is remote on website. So this is my GitHub and here I have an empty repository. Nothing is there. It's completely blank. What is my next thing? My next thing is I want to pull this. Pull means I want to bring this. I want to bring this or clone. We call it clone. What do you mean by clone? Clone means whatever is present in your GitHub account, whatever is present in the remote, hence onwards, whenever I'm saying remote, it is GitHub. Local means Git, right? So whatever is present in your remote or GitHub, that you are bringing to local or Git. You work and then you push. So it's a two-way communication. Are you understanding? From GitHub to Git, do the changes. From Git to GitHub, push, pull, push. So pull the code, do the changes, push the code so that it will reflect again in GitHub. So how to do that? So we have an empty, nothing is there, just an empty repository with a README file. I want exactly this on my system, right? Now this is not present locally. This is present remotely. How to bring it locally? So I can clone. What I can do? I can clone. So for cloning, I need the repository URL, right? From where I will get. So remember from where I am taking, you click on this code. You click on this code and can you see this is the URL? What is this? This is the URL. I will copy this. Why I am copying? I want this to be cloned to local. I want this to be cloned to local. Now, before I do that, where I want to clone, I need to create a folder where I want to keep this, right? For example, let's say you want to clone pandas, you want to contribute. Let us understand with a real-time example. You want to contribute to pandas, okay? You want to add something in pandas. So first, you need to clone because it's a public repository, it's an open source platform. You need to clone whatever code is there, you clone it to your local, you do changes and you push it. So the same thing I'm doing, I have an empty repository, I have copied. So clone means I have just copied it, the URL I have copied. Now where I want to store it, I will create some folder. Where I will create some folder, let's say this is my E drive. And let's say in my E drive, let's say I'm just creating some empty folder, right? Let's say, where is it? Let me go to some other folder thing. Let's say documents, okay? So I'm just going to create a new folder in my documents, or let me come to E drive only. I'll create a new folder, okay? So folder, it is nothing but I'll give some name and git demo. What is the folder name? Git demo. And what I'm trying to do is in this particular folder, I want to copy or I want to clone my GitHub. So here you will open VS Code. What you need to do here, you need to open VS Code. See, there are options, open with code, right? You click on this open with code. So what happened? Your VS Code has opened in that directory. You can say git demo. Let me repeat what happened. Step number 1, you have installed everything, right? You have installed everything. And step number, what you have installed? Git you have installed, GitHub you have installed, VS Code you have installed. Step number 2, you have created your account in GitHub and you have created an empty repository. Once you have created an empty repository, what you're trying to do is you're going to clone that empty repository to your local system so that you can work on it. So you have created a folder called git demo, and then inside that folder, you have opened VS Code. I will pause here. So far, is it clear, everyone? Any Doubt?
Ma'am, installation, do we need to install only Git or GitHub also to be installed? GitHub is the only.
No,
file.
GitHub you cannot install. GitHub
okay.
is up. GitHub is
Account.
website, remote,
Account,
right?
okay.
Like AWS.
Okay,
Can you
got it.
install AWS? No, it's
No.
a cloud. Are you waiting? So it's a
Yeah.
website. You just need to log in,
Okay, got it.
sign in. Yeah. So in this particular Git demo folder, now what I need to do, tell me. I need to clone. Okay. So so to clone, what I need to do is I need to go to the GitHub and then I have to copy. And after that, to clone, I need where I will write my code, right? I can write my code in Git bash, or I can also write my code in terminal. So where is the terminal, right? So let me. Yeah, so here it is. So you open your new terminal. Okay. So let me repeat. You need to open your new terminal, 3 dots here. Just click on that and a new terminal will be opened. So let me repeat. You can type it in Git bash also, or if you have MacBook, in the MacBook terminal. But I will recommend you to do it from VS Code. Why? Because seamlessly you will understand later. Just wait for 10 minutes. You will understand why I'm telling you to open inside GitHub. VS Code. So already I am inside my Git demo and this is my terminal. Here I want to clone. So what is the command? The command is git and then clone and then the URL that you want to clone, right? And then hit enter. So you can see it is cloning, right? And what happened? You can see this particular thing has come from where? From my from my GitHub. Let me repeat what we have done. We have created an empty repository from GitHub, and that empty repository we are bringing to our local, right? And this is the command git clone. Don't worry, I will give you a cheat sheet maybe in tomorrow's class. All the git command. First, you look at the git commands today, understand. Don't worry about remembering it. Tomorrow, I will give you a complete cheat sheet. And I mean, once you look at the code, you will understand because, I mean, you see it today and tomorrow when you look at the cheat sheet, you will understand every code. So don't worry remembering the code. Just understand the process. So what we have done, we have cloned it, right? From GitHub, now it is in Git. Now what I will do, I will do some changes. Let's say this is my folder. Let's say I want to write a Python. Let's say hello Python, right? .py. So what is this? So this is a Python code that I started writing. Let's say this is my project. What I'm doing, I'm just printing, let's say hello Python. So this is my first Python. And then I have just saved it. Okay. Okay. Now you can see something is written here. Can anybody read it out? What is this? See, in with readme.md, no symbol. But hello Python, can you see after hello Python, there is something?
U.
What is this?
U.
U. So what is this U means? U means untracked. Untracked means what? What is that? The meaning of untracked? Untracked means you have created a new thing. Untracked means you have created a new thing. New thing means what? It can be a Python code. It can be adding a new data set, a new CSV file, or something new you have done, which is not there in GitHub. So my question to you is, this hello Python, do you think it is present in the GitHub? Is it in new? README is present. Hello Python is newly created, correct? So anything that you have created newly, it can be a code, it can be data set, anything, that will be untracked, you. Now let me do something. Let's say here in readme.md, what I have done, I have just, let's say I have welcome to my project. Okay. Something I have written and then I have saved it. Okay. Now, can you tell what happened to readme.md? Before it was nothing, but now can you see something has changed? What happened? M. So if you just click here, you can see modified. So remember, there are two things can happen to your project folder. Two things can happen, either untracked or modified. Modified means what? Already something is there, you have done some changes. Let's say a code is there, your teammate has written the front end part, you have changed the color of that button. So you have not created that file from scratch. So that is called modified, means you have already, the file was there or the code is there, you have modified changes. But untracked means you have created completely new. Now, what is the next step? I have done some changes to my local system or my local Git. Can you tell me what is the next step, that what I need to do next? What I need to do next?
Git add.
Yes. So let me first show you some commands. Let's say I just call this ls, and you can see what is this ls. ls will list down all the files. Okay. So in my, like, there is just one more thing. Sometime if you want to see all the hidden files, you can write ls minus a, right? So anyways, this is, I will come to this part later, but I just, let me clear this. I don't want to confuse a lot of things, but we will go in sequence. Otherwise you'll be confused, right? Okay. So now this is my changes, right? So what happened is one file is untracked and one file is modified. Now there is a command called git status. You need to remember this. Let us understand in a flow. So you need to remember git status. What this command will do. Let us type and understand. So what, not a git repository. Okay. Where we are, git demo, right? Oh, okay. So we should go inside this demo git. We should go inside this demo git. Right? Now you just type this git status. And you can see, can anybody read what happened? So whatever we can see here from this VS Code, that is what the message is. So status will tell you what happened to your file. What is the status of your project or repository? So it is telling, you know what, you have one file called readme.md, which is in modified status, and one file called hellopython.py, which is an untracked file. So you understood the meaning of untracked. Untracked means completely newly you have created. Modified means already something was there, but you have done some changes. Now, what is the next thing? You have to, these things, you want to keep a record, right? You want to push it to GitHub and you want to create a record. And there is something called adding. So what you need to do is, once you have modified or untracked file, you need to add it to staging area, and then you can commit. So what do you mean by commit? So commit is so important. Commit means snapshot. So taking pictures. So in the initial demo session, what I told you in the introduction part, I told you Git is nothing but taking snapshot or tracking the change. So this is one change that I have done, and I'm going to track this change. Okay, today Sasmitha has modified readme.md and added hellopython.py. So this is what I want to track. Tracking means commit. Commit means snapshot. Means what? Whatever you have done is committed. Committed means it has been recorded. In simple terms, it has been recorded. All the changes have been recorded. But before commit, there is another step. Directly you cannot commit. From modify untracked, you cannot. You have to add it to staging area and then you can commit. So what is the command to add your code to staging area? There's a command called git add. One by one you can add. Let's say git add. Let's say I don't want hello.python to be added now. I just want readme.md. I will write git add readme.md. Only readme will be added. If you just type git add dot, everything will be added. So what dot will do? Everything it will add to staging area. Let me again write git status. And you see what happened? Can anybody read? See, changes to be committed. So on your branch main, don't worry about branch. We will discuss about branch later, maybe tomorrow. But what happened is, you cannot see modified and hello Python, all those messages. Now what you can see, it is ready to commit. What it is telling? Changes are to be committed. Means what? Changes are ready for committed, to be committed. It's already been added to the staging area, right? Now the next command is commit. Commit means you are recording or you are taking snapshot. So this will be finally recorded, and you will see after commit this you and okay, there is something happened to this hello Python. What happened to hello Python? What happened? This has been added, right? This has been So all the untracked, which whatever has been untracked, everything has been added, right? Now what you can do is you can commit. So let me just scroll up. What I'm going to write now is git commit, and then what I will write, some message that I want to, okay, why message is important? Let's say you are front end, I am ML engineer, somebody. So what change I am doing? I need a message so that later I can search with that message. So git commit any message. Let's say this is adding hello Python and modifying readme, or any message you can write. Okay. And then hit enter. So what happened is 2 files changed, 2 insertion, create more this. So now can you see this folder? So when you don't have any symbol in your GitHub, sorry, when you don't have any symbol in your VS Code, that means everything is what? Committed. Means what? There is nothing, no untracked, no modified. Everything is committed. Let me repeat what we have done. We have cloned from GitHub, and then we have created a new file which was untracked because completely new file, and then we have modified a file. Now we have committed. Committed means what? Done. It is recorded. It is recorded. But my question to you is, where it is recorded? It is recorded in your local system, or already it is recorded in GitHub? Tell me. Has it been recorded in GitHub? No or yes? You don't know? Then check. So you go to your GitHub. Where is that? And this is my file. And let me refresh. So is it synced? Is it synced? Hello Python. Is it there in my GitHub now? Yes or no? No. So where it is present? In local, in Git. Can anybody guess what is the next task? What you need to do? From local, you need to push it to remote. From local, you need to push it to remote. So you need to write one more line of code called git push. Push means you are pushing your code from your local to remote. And I will write origin. So origin is the repository, like later you will understand why it is origin. And main is the branch. So as of today, you just remember the code, later you will understand. Okay. So git push origin main. And if I hit enter, this particular line of code, what it will do is it will push this particular code to my GitHub. And see what happened. It has been pushed to GitHub Sasmitha demo git this folder. What code I have written? Git push origin main. And then what will happen is you come here and then you just refresh. Now it has been updated or not? It has been updated, right? Okay. Sorry for the noise. I will close my window from tomorrow onwards. I forgot today. But this is a simple use case. If you just look at my screen, I have written 3 lines of code: git commit, git push, and then add, and then basically git status, git add. So you have done any changes, it will be either untracked or modified. Step number 1 is all the untracked and modified needs to be added. So you need to write git add. That will add everything to the staging area. And then you need to write git commit. So that will be saving it or recorded. The changes has been recorded, or snapshot has been taken. And then once you are finalized everything, you need to push it. So the command is git origin main, right? So git push origin main. So what it will do is it will push your code from local to your remote. And I mean, from here, and I'll show you one more example. Let's say this hello Python. What I'm doing is I have done some more changes. Let's say this time I no need to use terminal. Just by here only I can do it. Let's say I just written print, right? Hi. Okay. And I can just simply close this and I have saved it. Okay. And can you see again, you know now what happened. So tell me why it is M now. Why hello Python is M? What happened? What happened? Anyone? What happened? How to solve this M? So modified, you have done some changes. So you need to push. So what you need to do? There's something called git, you can see here, and yes. So you no need to type it in terminal, and that is the advantage of VS Code. seamlessly you can work between Git and GitHub just by clicking some buttons. So can you see this plus? So what is this plus means? Plus means you are adding this to staging area. So you click on this plus and now the changes has been added. And can you see this commit? You type your message, added print line, right? And then you commit. So what happened? Done. Your changes are done. And then sync changes.
Yes.
If you click on this sync
Comment
changes,
நம்ம என்ன பண்றது, please.
go on mute everyone.
தண்ணி.
And please go on mute. Right? And done. So there are two ways. And the second way is through your VS Code directly. And you can, let me repeat, yeah, you can see here, print high is already updated. Let me repeat. So from your VS Code directly, you can actually update, not writing all of this code. So it is, if you think like this is code, I can forget and all that. So you just have this source control, already it is present. Any changes you do, it will be M or U. You just click on this plus symbol, it will be added. And then you click on this commit and sync changes and done. I'll show you one more time, maybe if you have not seen. Let me add some more lines. Let's say I'm just adding print by, right? I'm just adding print by. And this is my third change, right? Print by. And then I will just save it, okay? Now you can see the moment I am saving it, you will see M because I have modified. I want to sync this change with GitHub. So I'll come here. What I need to do, plus, added, and then message something, let's say added, another print. So this is the message, and then commit. So committed, added, committed, sync change. So sync changed means what? It has been synced with the original or maybe the remote. Once it is done, you can go to your remote. You can go to your remote and you can just refresh. Can you see this by is here? So this is called real-time integration. So you are working here and you can see it is happening remotely in GitHub from here to there. I will pause here. There are a lot of things, but I think in the first time, what we have learned so far. Let me quickly summarize and then I will take your doubts if you have. So we understood what is Git and what is GitHub. After that, we understood we have done few things today. Number one thing is installation. So we have installed Git. It's an application. We have installed GitHub. It is a UI. So basically you need to just sign up, right? Sign in. After that, we have installed VS Code. Once you have installed VS Code, what you have done, step number 2, you have gone to your GitHub account and you have created your account. You have created a repository, empty repository. You have created your empty repository. Now, what you have done is you have come to your system, created a folder where you want to clone or copy this, right? And opened VS Code in that open VS Code. In that folder, you have opened VS Code in that folder, right? Or on that location, you open your VS Code. And then what you have done, open the terminal. You have opened the terminal. In the terminal, you have typed git clone and then the URL. URL of what? URL of your GitHub. So once you have cloned, this entire project has been cloned. After that, you have written, let's say, hello Python or whatever changes, whatever thing you want to do, whatever code you want to write, all the things you have done. And after that, it can be either untracked or modified. What you have done, you have just added everything. So you can do it in two ways. Directly from GitHub, you can do it, or in coding way if you want to do. You can type git add dot. So everything will be added. One by one, if you want to add git add readme.file, git add hello python.py, like this one by one also you can add. After that, what you have done, you have written a code called git commit. So what git commit will do, git commit will commit everything and message what is the message, right? So once it is done, you want to push it. So git push origin main, right? And what is this command will do? It will make changes in the GitHub repository. And this is what we have learned. Is it clear, everyone? Now, whatever changes you are doing, can you push your code to GitHub? Yes or no, everyone? Please say. Whatever you are writing VS Code, whatever code you are writing, can we all work maybe in one project. Yes, we can all work in the same project.
Yeah, we can.
You will do changes in your local Git and then you can push it to GitHub. Everyone understood how to bring your code from local VS Code to GitHub? Yes or no?
Yes. Ma'am, that
Right.
git push origin main will push the code to the GitHub, right, ma'am?
Yes, it will push code to the GitHub.
Commit will
And
save the changes, is it?
what is origin, why it is main, why not anything else, we will understand tomorrow. We will understand a concept of branch and I will tell you what is origin, what is main and all that, right? And the rewards we will do. The rewards means we will do, I'll talk about it tomorrow, right? I'll not, what I mean to tell you is from GitHub, we have cloned it from Git and then we have done changes and then we have pushed it to GitHub. But everything is going to the main branch. Can we create branches and then how to merge and branch concept? Tomorrow we will understand, but that is little advanced, but this is the basic. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Creating Git and GitHub and can you do everyone today one task? Assignment is create your GitHub account and maybe some random code you can push and try to do all of these things once, right? It will take 5 minutes. Once you understand, it takes just 5 minutes. It is so complicated when you look at Git and GitHub, but now I think it is super easy, right? Just two, three commands you need to remember, add and commit, push.
Yeah. Yes. So can we push before commit?
No, because commit is something, it's like a snapshot. So once you're untracked and there should not be any untracked and modified file, right? Commit means it should be added first. So before commit, what is the step? Before commit, what is the step?
Add.
Staging area. And then you can, so all the untracked modified should be added and then you should commit. And you can, after that you can, so no need to like sync every time. Maybe once your code is finalized, you can sync it with the GitHub, right? But I think, what is the benefit? Let's say, what happened is, let's say by mistake, I'll tell you what is the advantage, okay? By mistake, while working, I have deleted this Python, this one, right? Let's say I have deleted this one. By mistake, I was talking to you and I have deleted. I really don't know what I have coded. Can I go back? Yes or no? Can I go back? Yes, I can go back. In my second commit, I have till print 1, right? So I can go back to my second commit, third commit, fourth commit, whatever. So are you getting anything mistake I have deleted? I can go back. How to go back? Tomorrow I will show you. There is the snapshot where how to go back. But I think overall process is clear. Everyone, any doubt? We are good.
How VS Code connect to the GitHub?
So we are actually pushing. So VS Code is just a what is that? Editor. The main code is this git push origin main. This is the command to connect. From Git, we are connecting to GitHub, not through VS Code. VS Code has Git extension. So you can download Git extension. So when you download your VS Code, there's a section where you can install extensions. Sorry, that part I forgot. So you come here and extensions. Can you see all the extensions? So you search for Git and you download it. I have Docker, IntelliCode. You can see Python also. Sometimes you can see GitHub. So Git and GitHub, I think by default it comes. I don't know, but you can install if not. So Git is an extension. Are you getting? So don't think VS Code is integrating. Actually, Git is integrating through these extensions. Can you see this source control?
Hello?
This is the extension.
Hello.
I think
Yeah.
Your screen is not showing here. I can see the notepad only.
Okay, sorry. So I think when I'm sharing the whiteboard, it is not sharing the thing. Okay, fine. So I think that is fine. I was just telling you this is because of extension, from where you can install extension. I was showing that. So in your VS Code, can you see this symbol? This is extension. You click here and these all extension. I mean, there are certain extensions which are really helpful. So one is Python, which is mandatory. Without that, you cannot write Python code. So you can download and install Python, right? Python extension. After that, you can install, if you want to, I think Python and I think source control is automated. So Git and GitHub will be there by default, I think. But there are certain Git related extensions also. If you can search for Git, you will see. Right? So Git Lens, Git Lab also is there, right? So we don't need all of that. I think Git, you can see this symbol. This is source control. By default, you will get it. So all the things are happening through this Git, not through VS Code. Are you getting? Are you getting? So
Yeah.
who is doing all of this integration? Git, not this command, Git push. VS Code is simple editor. It is not a version control, right? VS Code is editor where you write your code. It has extension. Extension means what? External tool like Git, which will help you for version control, right?
Okay.
So you can say Docker. So Docker is an external tool. I have integrated Docker. How? Because I have installed the extension of Docker. So that's what it is showing. Similarly, Git. So yeah, okay. So I'll pause here. Any doubt? Any question? Is it clear, everyone?
Ma'am, what is the staging area? Is it means that the file is getting stored on the local?
Staging means something which is in between of modified and commit. So before commit, you need to stage, you need to keep it in staging area. Staging means it is ready for commit, right? So I'll tell you what is staging area. Let's say you are doing modify, right? All the things you don't want to commit, right? For example, you are working in ML machine learning code, right? You have tried 10, 20, 30, 40 algorithms. Everything you don't want to track. Maybe the best algorithm you want to let's say commit, right? I'm just giving some dummy example. Let's say you want to see what is the color of the button. Yellow is looking good, black is looking good, blue is looking good. So this is the modification you are doing. But finally, let's say you finalized, okay, I want yellow. This is looking good. Then you add. When you add that modification, the final modification. Are you getting? Not everything. Let me explain you in this way. Let's say hi you have written and then you have deleted. Let's say something else you have written and you have finally you understood what to write. And when you are finalizing your code, then you add it and then you commit. Are you getting?
Okay.
Not everything you want to track. Whatever you want to track, you add it. Not everything.
Okay.
So don't worry about it. If you understood 30-40%, I'm happy because anyway you have to use Git and GitHub. There is no escape. Every code, whatever you will do, you have to push it to GitHub and then, I mean, you will repeat multiple times. You will see me doing this Git and GitHub things multiple times. In every project, we will repeat this. So, I mean, you will understand eventually, right? Okay, fine. So I think all the 9:30 people, old batch, you can leave. New people, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Others, you can leave the class. Tomorrow we will connect again. I think we are already late, but I mean, I can maybe 5 minutes I can extend.
Ma'am, what time is the class or usually?
We have usual class at 9:30.
9:30 only?
Yes, 9:30. Yes. Maybe I can shift it to 9 to 10 if that works. That is the two timing.
Ma'am, any WhatsApp group created?
WhatsApp group is created. Once your enrollment is confirmed, I will add you to the WhatsApp group.
No, I'm old student. I already paid. Maybe I
Okay.
missed the class because I'm in New York. I'm not in. Sometimes I miss the class.
Sure. So can you just okay, WhatsApp group is created. I will share you the link maybe. Okay, I am sharing you my number. Can you ping me? I will add you. Okay. I've shared you my number. Ping me on this number. I'll add you to the WhatsApp.
Sure. Okay, sure. Okay, thank you.
Ma'am. Hi, ma'am.
Yeah.
Today only I joined. So is it a difference between the old batch and new batch with respect to the topic?
So I'll tell you what happened. Okay. So everyone please wait. I'll tell you. I mean the old batch means the last week batch. It's not like a month ago. So what has been last Monday we started this same batch only, but last Monday to this Friday, like 5 days, what we have covered is basically Python. So installation of Python, installation of VS Code, installation of Jupyter Notebook, right? And then
Okay.
what is variable, but don't worry about it. I will take classes for you. Git and GitHub is very common, universal topic. That's why I have combined. But for you, the classes timing will be 8:30. Maybe once these Git topics are over, you will connect at 8:30 and we will start from scratch after Git. Git is a universal topic. It is nothing related to Python or anything, right? Everyone should know. That's why I have combined. Right?
Okay. Ma'am, I have a
But
small doubt because
let me tell you one more thing. Many people who already know core Python means variable and then function and then if, else, while, for loop, right? And these all are the basic topics. If you think you already know, what you can do is once your enrollment is done, you take recordings, video recordings, you fast forward, you look at, because I'm just telling to people who are already working as Python developer or already working in Java, because they will get bored, right? They already know the Python concept. They don't want to wait. So you can directly join 9:30 every day, and from Pandas onwards, it will continue. And you can take the recordings and fast forward and watch the recordings. Any doubt, you can ask me on Saturday. Only core Python has been covered. Like, as I said, the topic names, right? Variable, function, if, else, while, for loop.
fine,
These
ma'am.
all are the things, at least tuple and all that. Very simple topics. I think if you spend 2 hours, 3 hours, it will be covered, right? And
Yeah,
you
ma'am.
not be bored. But if you are non-technical, you want to start from scratch, so don't worry at all. You will connect 8:30, right?
Sure.
So
Ma'am, 9:30 is the comfortable time for me. So I know all these topics which you said. So I think the 9:30 will be the batch, right? I can join.
yeah. 9:30 will be the batch. I'll
Okay,
recommend
ma'am.
everyone to, if possible, if you are not completely non-technical, I will suggest you to join 9:30 onwards, because core Python is super simple. And the next batch onwards, I'm not going to take classes only. I'll share recordings. Python is so common. I think many of the people, they they are really bored when I talk about simple things, variable and function and all that. Having said that, if you are from non-technical background, let us connect on this Saturday and Sunday, and I'll
Okay.
take you from scratch. I think
Sure,
that is a good way. Pandas also is an independent topic, so it is nothing related to core Python. If you have zero knowledge, zero knowledge, if you don't know like what is, if you have zero knowledge also, you can understand Pandas. It's an independent module, right?
Oh,
So you can, everyone can start from Pandas. It's a very important topic and completely independent module, and take core Python recordings. Let us connect this weekend, next weekend. I am available and we will discuss if you have any doubt, or I will give
okay.
you a summary that will help you.
Sure. Okay.
Right.
And one last question, ma'am. How much of the mathematical background we need to have to complete this or get the full understanding about this particular course? Or what are the topics which we
Mathematical
have?
background, I am there to take care, so don't worry about it. Whatever maths is required, I will, let me share some of the things that you should focus, because many of you are joined newly today. Let me give you some example, real-time example, so that you will understand what is the situation right now in job market, right? With some, let me see if it is there. Okay, why I'm showing you the machine learning engineer job description I want to show you, not from Naukri, from my own experience. I just want to show you what is trending right now. So machine learning engineer means it is MLOps. Okay. And everything is machine learning engineer. There is no role called only data science. I mean, if they're looking for only data science, that is next level data science, very advanced. Like people who already are very efficient in LLMs, RAG, right? Retrieval augmented, and then they know LLMs, how to build generative AI applications, computer vision, RNN, LSTM, research scientist. So that is next level. They will be focusing. And even in those roles also, they are expecting ops, LLM ops, which is trending. But in normal data science, that has been changed to machine learning engineer. So any of the machine learning engineer role you see, that is all about your, I'll show you the I have an interview. I will share my experience. A very good company, Twilio, and I mean it's a work from home and very nice thing. E-commerce platform. If you want to go through, you can go. It's a lot of AI applications they have, and this is for this position called machine learning engineer. Right. And I just want to show you the job description. I will share my experience tomorrow. You should know what is going on in market. And this is what they expect. And not only this, you search for machine learning engineer for any company. I can guarantee you, I can show you Google's email also for machine learning engineer and their description. I can show you n number of like NVIDIA. I got a I'll show you all the top companies, MLOPS, machine learning engineer. So you can see what is the job description. Can you see Twilio? See, staff machine learning engineer, all that blah blah, and then you can see end to end. Can you see this? You will own, this line is very common. You will own end to end execution of large scale ML solution, end to end. What do you mean by that? It's not like many students, they ask me, can I learn only machine learning? That is not going to give you a job. I just don't want you to, I don't want to lie, because this is what the situation. You just go through, and this is not one job description. I can show you my LinkedIn profile, 100 of job description. Every company is looking for ML engineer means this is what, and you can see the, look at this. This is what they want. It's not like they don't want machine learning. See here, framework like TensorFlow, Keras, right? And track record of designing an architecture. This is okay, but if you just go down, Python, right? And then deep learning, you can see this machine learning models, right? In production, this is very important. So track record of building, shipping, and maintaining. Not only building, machine learning means not only building, shipping, and maintaining end to end, right? And without ops, you cannot do that. So go down and you can see that AWS is there, right? This big data is there, right? ML ops, you will find it. And it is not a ML ops engineer. It is not ML ops. It is machine learning engineer. And this is what is desired is large language model is not option mandatory. But can you see ML ops everywhere? It is there. If you don't believe, you check my lot of like machine learning engineer. You go to LinkedIn and search. You will see end to end. Don't believe in, you go search. And this is what is called. This is what is trending right now everywhere. They need end to end roadmap complete. So are you a person who can handle project end to end? And this is a senior role. You search for, this is machine learning engineer level 5, I think. But you search for machine learning engineer level 2. I think this is what you can apply for. And you can see the same thing with, I mean, little bit of experience level less. Maybe, can you see data scientist, EDA, including AWS, GCP? So they want data scientist. They want all the visualization skills, right? Machine learning algorithm, you should know, right? And then AWS and GCP, large scale, right? And then I think, yeah, automated testing and mentoring, right? Code review, automated code review, automated testing means obviously deployment. And then a lot of things are there. So are you getting? So these are good companies I'm talking about, all the product-based companies, and the package is very high. Like you can expect 75, 85 for staff, right? And all remote. And for
75, 85 lakh or 1,000?
Yes. And you can, I don't know, but you can go and check. This is what Glassdoor says. I don't know, but you can go to Glassdoor.
How are
and,
opportunities here in North America, in Canada, US?
For 275K, that's the average. I
In
don't
Canada?
know, but this, yes. I mean, in US, it was showing. I don't know. This is the average. This is what it is showing. So it's highly confidential, but you search for, this is something which is, I can show you. So, I mean, there are a lot of charts, Fisher Bowl or something. You can go and check staff. You can check for staff, and you will see that is what they are offering. Starting with 50 to 70. That's the range, 50 to 60, and which is a very good, right?
What's the significance of staff word in the machine learning engineer?
Staff means basically the lead, right?
Okay.
Staff means basically the lead, right?
Okay.
I
And
think this
like
is,
after you,
yeah.
go ahead, please.
So I mean, there is no bear. So that's what I'm saying. When you are when you are skilled enough, I mean, in AI, you no need to move to US or Canada. In India also, you can earn a lot because, I mean, you can, what I mean to tell you is in US also, you will get a very good salary, like 2 to 3. Within that, you will get. For the senior roles, I'm talking like 7, 8, 10 years. Junior 1 to 2. And in India, they start with 25, 30. That's a starting range because I have a lot of experience. So, I mean, I don't know. I was just checking their Glassdoor average salary. And if you go to this fish bowl, they have posted, right? So, few of the people they have posted, you go and search about it. Is very popular. Netflix is using, a lot of companies are using their platform. So, it is a very, like Agoda, they're offering, Make My Trip, they're offering Paytm, the fintech, they are also offering very good salary. So, I mean, salary is no barrier. You can demand whatever you want. And it is possible in India. I'm sharing my friends in VMware, they're getting 60, 70, right? In that range. So there are certain companies where you can target, but you need to reach to that level first. And there is a pay to your hard work. If you learn, you can earn. I mean,
I have a
entire
question.
world is moving towards AI. So if you are skilled in AI, I mean, you can definitely expect, but you should fulfill their criteria also, right? That is important. So this is what they need. This is for junior level, but when you go to senior level, I think they need end to end, right? I think for junior level, they have not mentioned about deployment, but you can see some trends. What is the trend? Cloud is a trend. I can see a new trend, that is GCP. I don't know how, but for last 3 months, I have seen a huge demand for GCP.
Yes, ma'am. In my
Yes.
company also they are using now.
Yes.
Don't know
So
why.
it was, yes, GCP, I think, I don't know, maybe BigQuery, it is less costly or something. Unfortunately, I did not get that exposure to be expert in GCP. When I was in Paytm, it was very huge data. So we were using BigQuery, and I have limited knowledge in GCP. Vortex AI and all I have never used, but I am good at AWS, Azure, limited knowledge. But I can see a shift towards GCP. Every company, every job description, they are more towards GCP right now. I don't know why. Maybe it is cheaper than AWS is costly. That is what I can assure. AWS is costly, but it is easy. Like, it's very easy to learn. GCP, there's a huge demand. I don't know why, but it is going towards GCP. I can say now it has 10%, but I am assuming in next 3-4 years, the way every company is hiring for GCP, I think it will be 20-30. It will be almost like capturing 20-30% in coming 2-3 years. Right? Every job that I'm getting right now is about GCP. I mean, they're okay with AWS, but they need GCP. Mostly Vertex AI and all that, right?
In the
Anyways.
previous classes, you mentioned that like after your training, we can like show as a 2 to 3 years of experience. So like whether we should position ourselves as a on a resume, shall we say that we have an experience as a data scientist or as an ML engineer?
You can show as a ML engineer because that is how you will able to justify your engineering part plus ML,
Okay.
right? So
Okay,
I'm
okay.
believing everyone is from development background. Even if you are not from development background, you have to modify your CV accordingly. So engineer means already the ops part is there. So you know GitHub, Docker, all those part plus ML, whatever you have learned. So it is absolutely fine to tell that you are new and you learned, because if you go and check the Google trend, MLOps is new. If you tell I have
Right.
10-year experience in MLOps, people will not believe. Right?
Right.
MLOps is new. So I think 2 to 3 year experience is, I mean, you will find very rare in market. So I think 2
Right.
years is genuine experience. If you show and justify, they will take you. They're not asking, it is not there. Why they will ask? Because people who are there in the industry, they know that MLOps is a new trend. It's not
Right.
like 5-6 years, it was not there.
Right. And as an MLOps engineer, we do the we work on the use cases, build the models, validate, and then do the operations part, right? That is a typical life cycle of an ML engineer.
ML engineer means end to end. I have just shown you some description, right? The job description, and that is what it is. End to end means.
But in briefly, how is it different from data scientist?
Data scientist means they will build. Okay, I have built a model. So now, okay, who is a data scientist? Okay, so let me show you some code. Let's say machine learning model. I have written my code in Jupyter Notebook and VS Code. Am I is it final code? No, there are a lot of things, right? So how to deploy your code, how to make it reproducible, how to track the ML model, how to register it, how to make it reproducible, how to Dockerize, how to containerize it, how to take it to AWS, how to deploy it, endpoint inference, API, a lot of things are there when it comes to deployment. So data scientist means you are good at ML and deep learning and other those statistical things. You can collect data, build model, and yeah, you can collect data, build model. Ops means you can also deployment is also not one-time task. Monitor, deploy, monitor, maintenance. That is ops.
Right.
Right?
I think Sasmitha, if I'm not wrong, in the data science,
There
they
is
look
no
for
one
a
called data
tableau.
scientist. I just want to correct 1 minute. So my assumption is, and what I think, I mean, most of the time that happens, my assumption is data science will go. I mean, this job role will be invalid in next 2-3 years. There will be no data science job. Data science is full stack. Means if you are a data scientist, you should know the engineering part. And if you are like a research scientist, then I think that's a different level. As I said, people should be from master's, PhD background. They will actually innovate. They will create algorithms. I mean, are you getting that? Those are next level people. On those cases, company they employ those kind of people. IBM research labs, right? General Electric research labs. So those, if you go and check Samsung research lab, so there you will see people are from PhD background. And what they will do? Goldman Sachs research. They create their own search engine. They have their own operating system. So those level. So they are focused on creating algorithms for the community. So those are different people. So we are not comparable to them. But general people, average people, if you talk about, there is application side is MLOps, full stack. Either you develop something, create something new, and they will deploy you in research, and they will not, your main goal is to innovate. So I mean, deployment part can be taken care by other people, but if you are a person who knows how to use tools and solve business problems, like what is the job of a data scientist? As a data scientist, we are not innovating something, right? We are just using the tools to create machine learning models, and you are responsible to deploy it. So that is the next generation job levels. Is it clear, everyone? So everything is full stack nowadays. Nothing is, you will do something and then someone will come into picture and they will deploy your model, they will maintain, it's gone. Similarly, data engineers, they should know machine learning. Without that, they are also, I mean, incomplete. They cannot say, I don't know anything about ML. No. I mean, that is not a kind of mandatory thing, but it's good to have skill.
I think
Can
even
you go
data
through the
science
syllabus?
also.
Yeah. So it's actually too late. So what I can do is, I think you all are waiting for the syllabus. It's very simple. It's end to end. So there are 4 projects. I think the curriculum with the detail, I am really, I'm not getting any time. I have this interview tomorrow. I really want to prepare for it. But after day after tomorrow, maybe Thursday, I will show you the project details, but it's very transparent. Every project is end to end. We will collect data, we will pre-process, we will build model, and then we will deploy. Deploy means what? First, we will make our code modularize using proper syntax in Python, like class, module, package, and everything. Then we will make it reproducible by using ML flow. We will track it. And then once we have used ML flow, then we will use Docker to containerize it. And then once it is Dockerized or containerized, then we will take it to AWS and we will deploy. So that is the entire flow. The projects are different. First project is a dashboard visualization project. Second project is a machine learning project. Third project is a deep learning project. So when you are using deep learning, the tools that you will use is little different. So we are going to use TensorFlow tools, right? So you will learn what tools you will learn, and in a flow, I will explain you everything. Maybe day after tomorrow, I can share you the data syllabus. But it is in this way. What I said, exactly in same flow, right?
And
3 projects.
one project in real world scenario, one project is also one use case.
Yes, one project is one use case, and all the 3 projects you will deploy yourself
Okay.
in the
Okay.
live server free of cost.
And
Obviously, that is not efficient. It is because it is free. It has 515 MB RAM. In
Right.
free server, you will host it, and also you will host it in AWS.
Right.
Right.
And in after the training, we can show like 2 to 3 years of experience. So if we say that we worked on 3 projects, is that good to say that it took us 3 years
Once
to
you know, correct. So 2 to 3 year experience easily you can show, and once you know the flow, right? It's just matter of practicing more data sets. So I mean,
No, but in
you know,
real world experience, like 3 projects, we can say, okay, we worked like 2 years in ML as an ML engineer, and we resolved 3 use cases. Is that fair enough? Is it
no, it
realistic?
is not fair enough. But what I'm saying is 3 projects, if you have done here, 3 more projects you can deploy yourself. So you can download data sets from different
Okay.
sites. Like there are Kaggle, there are a lot of sites. In Kaggle, we have 50,000 plus data sets. You can download
Okay.
those data sets, and you can do the same thing. Basically, once you have created 3 projects, 90% of the code you can reuse. Okay, with some very small modification. And that is what is all objective of MLOps, isn't it? If you have to repeat why you are using MLOps. So that is the
Right.
whole objective, automation. So once you have done MLOps project 2, 3 projects, right? 4, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th, any project is a repetition of the same. I'll show you some example. Let's take one. Maybe it's too much late, otherwise tomorrow I will show you. So the deployment code is same, everything is same, just you need to change the name of the project, the folder location, something like that. And 90% of the code is same because you have written in a package way. So you want feature selection, call the feature selection package. You want missing
Right.
value, you create the missing value package. Everything is there. It's like kind of automated mode. Just repeat.
In
Right.
order to justify 2, 3 years of experience, how many use cases we should show on the resume?
6 to 7 use cases you can show. Out of that,
Okay.
I think it's not fair to tell everything is end to end because they will not
Right.
believe. Person who is really working, they will understand out of 10, maybe 1 or 2 will be productionalized. Rest all will be scrapped, like it's gone, right? So you can say 2 to 3 you have done POC where you have done some research, and 2 to 3 you have productionalized end to end, right?
Okay.
So that will be a true story. Yeah.
And why why the other got scrapped? Like what could be the reasons for that?
Yeah, that we will discuss in the demo session. Sorry, not in the demo, but interview preparation class. There are a lot of reasons. Sometimes the code data quality issue. Sometimes there will be no buyer, right? You cannot convince the stakeholder. Most of the time, this is the issue. The people will not ready to take it, whatever you have built.
Okay.
Then you can ask me
Okay.
why I'm building then. So I mean, lot of cases push project, right? Sometimes you will pull it, sometimes you will push it, right? So if it is a really critical requirement, they obviously it will go for productionalizing. But sometimes it is just a kind of marketing thing. So you are marketing about your team, marketing about your company. So you will try to do extra things, right? For your
Okay.
client or stakeholders. That time they might not need it, or they might
Okay.
get it cheaper than what you are quoting. So a lot of things are there. So it might be, not might be, most of the time it may fail also, right? So
Okay.
I mean, your accuracy will be bad or data will be limited. Lot of reasons. Maybe it
Right.
and it, yeah, it will be just be not going for productionalizing. So I mean, 5 to 6 is a decent project list.
Out of 1 or 2 got productionalized and the other got scrapped for valid reasons.
Yes. Yeah. They'll ask
Okay.
you what is your role and all that thing, right?
Mhm.
I mean, how you have contributed. So I think you can easily answer those questions. Those are not difficult. If you if you really worked yourself 4 to 5 projects, I mean, I don't think I copied this my training code to my production environment and it works. So almost everything is same AWS, same SageMaker. Are you getting same ML flow? Once you know,
Right.
because these are tools, right? If you can use here, you can use anywhere.
Right.
So I think once you know the flow, you can easily justify.
Sure.
Okay,
And
so
you
let's
said
do one thing. Yeah.
sorry, one last question, maybe a quick answer for you. You said that we deploy using MLOps, right? But we can use Kubernetes as well for the deployment, because I think the people who are coming from the DevOps engineer, they're more familiar with the Kubernetes.
Yeah, you can see there is no end, but I believe like, okay, Kubernetes, if you have a lot of Docker containers, I think Kubernetes is fine. Most of the ML projects, I think we don't need Kubernetes in real time, but yes, I mean, if you really want to take it to Kubernetes level, you can do that. Kubernetes, if you have a lot of Docker containers,
Okay.
right? But
Okay,
I
got
think
it.
every project is independent. Data science is a little different than traditional DevOps. Repeatedly, I think many people, they design the curriculum who are from DevOps side. So they themselves has never, they are not data science. I mean, a data scientist and a software engineer together, it's MLOps. A
Got
software
it.
engineer is incomplete, a data scientist is incomplete, right? So everything. So
Mhm.
ML has its own challenges. Instead of Kubernetes, in fact, we need to learn some other monitoring tool. In fact, like evidently AI, a lot of monitoring tool, because sometimes if it is failing, we need to report why it is failing automated way. So it's a
Right.
little different, not little, 30-40% different than DevOps. There are some common things like Docker, GitHub and all that, but there are a lot of other things which is
Mhm.
very unique about MLOps, which you will not find in DevOps, like ML Flow, Kubeflow,
Mhm.
which is a kind of Kubernetes version, lightweight
Right.
version, right? And then we
Okay.
have this evidently AI to monitor open source. We have the SageMaker, right? If you are building LLM, always machine learning is not only machine learning, it is deep learning. So you will be implemented TensorFlow. It's a completely different stack, I will say, right?
Got it.
And
Okay.
yeah, so you will understand more when you go inside the topics. But I think the course syllabus I can share with everyone day after tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very hectic day for me. I cannot do it. But day after tomorrow, this is the flow of the project, but detail you will get it day after tomorrow. Okay, the
Got it.
syllabus,
Mhm.
projects, entire course is all about 3 projects. One is machine learning, one is Power BI or Dash application, and the third one is deep learning. So in the deep learning, you will learn other things like TFX, you will learn TensorFlow. In machine learning, you will learn ML flow. So there is a difference. Every project will give you a lot of, in deep learning project, you will understand Keras. In machine learning, you will understand scikit-learn, pandas. Are you getting? So, I mean, the flow of the project, the tools that you will use is different.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so let us connect tomorrow. We will continue.
Ma'am,
Thank you.
hello.
I will disconnect now. It's too late for me.
Duration.
Tomorrow we can connect at the same time, same link.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
At 8:30?
You can connect 9:30 tomorrow because Git is pending, right? We need to learn about merge and branch.
Then please add me. I sent you the message on WhatsApp.
Sure, I will add you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, also, I have completed my bachelor's in 2023 and I came to the US right after. And I don't have any job experience. So I'm currently pursuing my master's. So can I still take this course?
No, don't ask me, can I take this course or not? Because I think that is invalid point right now. I mean, BTech people are learning machine learning. You don't believe about US. In India, every deemed university, you go to Chennai, you go to Bangalore, I mean, you will see their curriculum in CS. They have specialization in AI, machine learning, IoT, robotics, all of these RPA,
Yes.
they're learning, right? So it's not, and you are masters. So, I mean, there is no question that I should learn it or not. I mean, how soon you
Because I
should
don't
learn
have
it.
any developer experience. I never done any job.
See, that is fine because it will come eventually. You are a student. So until unless you get a job, you will not get that developer experience anyway. Having said that, you can try a lot of POC projects. You can try a lot of public projects, downloading data set. That will give you development experience. All those 3 projects. After that, you can try some more projects. And you can upload all of those things in your GitHub account. And as a student, if you can do that, that is outstanding, right? You will get internship very easily. If you have this kind of CV in your GitHub and all that thing, portfolio, you have your DaaS application running in AWS, your DaaS application hosted somewhere. So this kind of thing easily it will catch. So what I mean to tell you is you will get development experience when you develop things by yourself, right? So you start doing it, join the course and start doing it, develop things by your own and implement and market yourself, create your own brand, right? And don't ask me this question, anyone, should I learn it or not? You learn it from me, you learn it from somewhere, you learn it from Udemy. Entire MLOps I learned myself and through my company project, because I have product-based company end to end. Nobody taught me. I learned myself. You can also learn. But the thing is, I have a background, so it was easy for me to understand ML. I already. So that's the thing. So everyone should learn how fast, how soon, how from where. It is up to you. You should decide. But without ML, without AI, I think it's difficult to be there in IT market. The way it is moving, I mean, it's scary, right? So you should upgrade to the next specialized subjects.
Ma'am, 1 minute. Hello.
Prashant, let us connect tomorrow. We will continue from here, right?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I just learn to scratch from scratch. I'll join 8:30 and 9:30 only.
So you join 9:30. I will tell you when you can join 8:30, or I will give you Saturday time where we can start from scratch.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. But tomorrow it is Git repetition. So we will continue from Git. So everyone join same time, same link tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, time. Extended time. Thank you.